be. Hey, so I just did a did about a 5-minute interview and took a picture instead of hitting record. So I'm gonna be real quick now. Been a tough season, probably the toughest season I've ever had. Now, granted, I've put all of my time and efforts pretty much into one deer, my one target buck on the farm, but it's been tough. Dave, been probably his toughest year too. I know he's been sitting the last several evenings. He's not seen a deer on the hoof in 3 days, so it's tough right now. So the reality is this is my last hoorah. This is my last chance to make anything happen. So here we are in late muzzleloader. I'm probably going to sit this evening, Thursday and Friday some, Saturday, Sunday's up in the air. I'm probably going to duck hunt Saturday. And that's another thing that I'm getting at. I've not had time or made time to deer hunt the last little bit. There's so much going on with holidays. You know, we're getting ready for the baby, so there's all kinds of stuff going on around the house, moving stuff, constructing stuff, demoing stuff. I've been working like crazy. Duck season's in, so I've been duck hunting. We just got back from Arkansas with the guys last night. So I know, like I said, I know I'm going to hunt. I'm sure I'll duck hunt this weekend, Saturday morning. So this is my last chance to deer hunt and to try to make something happen. So I'm going to go this evening and sit for a few hours, hope and pray something comes together, and we'll get back at y'all from the woods at some point. I know it's just been super repetitive all year. I've had a lot of good deer footage, and then the same turkey footage and the same interviews of me hunting the same deer in the same farm and going in and going out, going in and going out. So it's been a tough year. It has been a real tough year, and I know Dave is in the same boat. So, excuse me, we're gonna get back after it, and we're gonna give it the best shot we can for the next few days, and it'll be what it'll be. So pressure's on. It's nervous, but I tell you this, it ain't gonna be for lack of trying. So we'll holler at y'all from the woods this evening. Well, good morning. It is about 6:30, a little bit before. I'm getting ready to walk in here. I am out at Crab Orchard hunting the new property that I got this year, that I ain't hunted one time ever before in my life. And I've had a fine deer walking around out here on camera. I've just been chasing, obviously, old Bones McGee out there at my place. So I'm a little excited, a little nervous. Don't know what I'm going to find out here. I have not put any kind of food or mineral out here months, literally months. So I don't know. It's exciting though, just to do something totally different. It's just wild because I don't know anything about this property. Don't know how they move. I mean, I have an idea of what I think that they'll do and I think they'll use it, but I don't know. It's going to be a learning experience. So if something happens this morning, it'll have more to do with me being lucky than good. So I hope and pray that the Lord and luck are on my side this morning, and that would be awesome. But I'm gonna get my stuff fixed up here, get it geared up, and head out to the stand. It is Thursday morning, the 15th, I think. It's about 48 degrees and got an 8-mile-an-hour west-southwest wind, and that's your weather report for today. We'll see y'all in the woods. river. I've not done any intros or exits or interviews or anything, but had a shooter buck in my crosshairs last night on this very spot that I've not hunted for deer in years. And due to the sun, as you can tell, I couldn't get the glare out of my scope yesterday evening. The sun was already down, but the glare was so bad, just from the sky being so bright, no clouds at all, that I could not get it to clear up to make a good shot. So I've been pretty sick about it, but I'm here. We're gonna try again. I don't have my video camera and I don't have a cameraman, so it's just me and the good Lord, and hopefully this big buck deer. Anyways, hopefully I'll get back at y'all here in a bit with some good news. 2:40 on my last day of hunting season. So today's the last day of muzzleloader here in Kentucky, and I'm done after this. Just got too much going on. So this is a bittersweet moment. I am leaving, and this is it. Either it happens tonight or it doesn't. So I wish my wife was with me. She's usually my good luck when it comes down to these do or die situations, but she's working, so I'm heading out. I'm not videoing. I'm not going to video kill shot. Hopefully, Lord, please give me one. I hope I get a chance, but I'm just hunting. So I'm gonna head out, get set up, buckle in, and pray and hope and do everything I can do to see if we can kill something. So y'all say a quick prayer for me, even though the deed is done as you're watching this. We'll talk to y'all here in a bit. I cannot even begin to possibly tell you what all has happened from the last time I talked to you, either going to the blind or sitting in the blind or in my truck about this is my last hunt, blah, blah, blah. I've not slept since then, with the exception of I passed out for like an hour or two last night, really late. So I think what I should do is I will, at some point in a minute, I will do a recap of the last 24 hours. And then we'll jump back forward to where I am right now as I'm recovering my deer. Hope y'all can hear me okay. I'm just finishing up, getting all the stands and everything. Well, on this property, all the cameras down and all the blinds down and chairs and straps off stands and stuff. So just to give a quick recap on the hunt from the kill, where we left off there was when I was actually walking up to recover the deer. I shot him probably 30 minutes before shooting light, and let me specify, 30 minutes before the end of legal shooting light that evening, and started tracking. I knew I hit him. I watched him mule kick, and there was a little dink that was with him, and they took off and crossed over into the next property. And so anyways, I was sitting there glassing, and I saw the dink that took off. He was standing there by himself, so I thought, well, maybe between me and him will be Big Boy. And so anyways, I knew with the last 30 minutes of light I wasn't going to give him time to lay it, because I knew I'd hit him pretty good. So went ahead and got up, started tracking, found blood, but it wasn't great blood. And I knew that, well, this is a terrible interview. I went up to where I saw the dink and looked in between them to see if he was laying in that, gap, and he wasn't. So I knew it was time to back out. So anyways, called the boys, we got lights, got the four-wheeler, gave him like 2.5 hours, tracked him with very minimal blood to a fence row. Once he jumped that fence, he was gushing. Really good blood. We were optimistic. Then it got small again, and we actually found his bed. We bumped him out of his bed, so we immediately were like, all right, we got to get out of here and give him the night. So I got back in early the next morning. Had 2 different tracking dogs with me. Well, two different tracking dogs, 2 different times, and they're just after his last bed, there was just no blood. So the dogs, they gave it their best effort, but there was literally no blood to track for them. So I combed miles and miles worth of stuff, and finally I got everyone out of there, and it was just me. And in short, I literally just bird dogged him myself and crawled on my hands and knees for, I think we mapped it out. The full from the shot to where I recovered him he went 1,200 yards, and I was just following, 10 head-sized drops of blood on leaves, and I mean, it was terrible. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done. Definitely the hardest track I've ever done in my life. And I was on the phone with Jared Flynn, actually, and I told him, I said, man, these, I've tracked little pin size drops of blood for 5 hours on my hands and knees, and he's going towards a creek, and I'm running out of daylight. So I said, I'm just gonna stop where I'm at, and I'm gonna start grid searching down through this creek. So you all saw it. The video didn't do it justice, but I was in a terrible thicket in this clear cut where a power line runs through, and I was just sitting there praying, talking to the Lord, give me something. And sure enough, I think it was 4 minutes after I got off the phone with Flynn, I saw him laying up there. So I hope this hasn't been too long, but that's the ultimate recap, and the rest is history. So Keenan, big shout out to him for coming out and helping me drag and spending the evening with me, and all the fellas that helped me emotionally and physically. It was a stressful 24 hours. So anyways, back to the enjoying the pictures and the actual recovery and the deer. So it's been a good season. Dave is still going, so y'all hang in there with us and keep following and mash that subscribe button. Appreciate it. I just came through one of the god-awfulest thickets that I've ever been in, and this clear cut of power lines, and I'm about to throw in the towel, and literally, and I just look up and I see something brown, a little interesting, you know what I'm saying? And I set my gun down on a tree. It's muzzleloader season. Actually, it's out. Last night was the last day of muzzleloader. I've got this 243 in case I needed to put a wounded animal out of its misery, or yotes, whatever. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm so tore up. But anyways, I set my gun down, pulled up my Beanox, and I said, please, Jesus, let that brown spot be him. And I confirmed that it was a deer. And so I still calm, cool, collected. I started walking over here towards the animal, and I saw horn. And I have never in my life felt that feeling. I've never lost a buck either, ever. And I know now real well what it feels like. And it has been a miserable 24 hours. And so I got within 15 yards and I saw horn, and I literally passed out. I hit the ground. I was crying. I called Keenan. I called Sean. I called Jared. I called my wife. And I didn't even know if it was him. I just assumed, because it would make sense for it to be, and I just lost it. And anyways, there he be. There he be. Great frame. Poor little feller doesn't have no tine length, and he ain't got no brow tines at all. But it has been the most exhilarating, stressful, emotional 24 hours of my life, barring, major life events and deaths and things like that. Can't explain what I'm feeling. Keenan's on his way. I'm going to live this up and I'm going to enjoy it. Thank you, Jesus. I've talked to him all day long. I'm sure he was finally sick of hearing me. So he's like, fine, here he is. But, whew. All right. I'm going to get this. Air recovery 101 on that. We'll get you where you need to be.
No, it never takes too long. They all get tired of these songs. They get tired